Hey, what's up, everyone? Monado Max here, and today we are back with another episode of the Four Swords podcast. Today we have a very interesting topic. We brought back an interesting guest since, we kind of had to, since the last time we had him on, it was for this whole rumored thing.
It's not like we forced him with a gun, though.
I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah. Well. So we brought JMatthew along for this video. We are talking about the Switch OLED. I thought, it'd be great to have him on since, we did have him on for the Switch Pro video, and, that video is definitely poorly aged since, that never happened. But we still have our usual cast here. We have Lux Ray Master.
Hey y'all, it's your boy Lux Master here again. Of course I'm excited for this video. By the way, the Switch Pro video did not age well, just saying.
No, it didn't. There's no 4K.
We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll get into that a little bit. We have the speedy man himself, miles per hour.
Hello there, it is miles per hour, and it's good to be back.
And we finally have Trevor. He finally got the Joy-Cons today. So freaking happy.
I was chosen by the gods to get these Joy-Cons. Yeah, I know. The last one at Walmart also, at least the dock has an Ethernet port built in this time.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, I know.
It's funny that we're bringing up the Joy-Cons because I'm pretty sure in previous episodes I've made fun of how I've had a pre-order Joy-Cons and you didn't, Trevor. So I'm very happy that you finally got them.
Oh, exactly. So, I would always tell you to shut up, and now I'm like, yes, I have them. I got the last ones at Walmart.
And like I said before, we have JMatthew back again.
Hey, I'm back. It's nice to be back on here again.
JD's back.
And this group is incredible, guys. So it's great to be here.
That's appreciated, bro.
Good. Now continue reading the script.
Yeah. It's not like you're following the script correctly.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wait, stop blinking. Why are you blinking in the camera?
Why are you blinking? Stop blinking. Stop blinking Morse code for help. God damn it. Let the blink bring down.
All right. So for our first question of the day, I think this is the best one to start with. So obviously the Nintendo Switch OLED was announced, I think maybe a week ago. And I think the best answer, or the question to start with, is everyone's thoughts on the Nintendo Switch OLED model. I will be going first. So my thoughts on this whole thing, obviously I was one of those people that a few months ago, I really was convinced the Switch Pro was happening, but I was one of those people that was actually heavily against the Switch Pro. I didn't want a Switch Pro to happen because I felt it would have, on the long term, would have been a waste of money. I made a lot of comparisons of the Switch Pro to the new 3DS XL, and I do stand by that I do think a Nintendo Switch Pro is a bad idea. But here we are, we got the Switch OLED, and with everything that's reported on it, it's not I'm not too pumped for it, but the thing I'm actually happy about with this whole Switch OLED thing is it looks like we're not getting a Switch Pro. And that makes me really happy about this whole thing. Lux Ray, you're up.
Yeah, for me, for this, honestly, like I said before, I guess I wasn't really think there was gonna be anything with the Pro or anything like that. I wasn't really thinking it was gonna actually happen. I'm glad it didn't, because I didn't feel like you need to go that far, especially with the Switch's lifespan and all that, and it's only been out for about maybe a few years. Or 4? Am I wrong? Or
We're coming up in 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 years.
Okay. It came out in 2017, so yeah.
Right. So So I'm at least there. But then, anyways, I'm glad they're doing something a little bit I guess a more updated version or somewhat for the family, at least. An older, I don't know, something. They're doing something. I'm glad they're doing something with it, and also and I like that they're catering with it towards the handheld audience. The screen being bigger and other shit they got going for it. At least that's something nice, I would say. And I would definitely think this would be great for those who might be who want to get an upgrade or something if they aren't feeling the Switch right now. But yeah, I definitely agree with what you mean though, with like not wanting that, because I definitely don't think that's a good idea. But moving on to
All right, so that leaves us with you, Miles.
So I'm gonna go into more detail about my thoughts of the Switch OLED when we get to the next question. As for this right now, just no thoughts of the quote-unquote Switch Pro. I'm just talking strictly what we got right now. These are some fine refinements. You know, like the OLED screen is really nice for everyone who wants a handheld system. The dock with the Ethernet port, that's a really good fix. More battery life, more storage. These are all pretty good standard refinements for a console that's already pretty good. Like, this is perfect for someone who Switch, or for someone who lost or broke their Switch. Like, if I was ever put in the situation, I would definitely get an OLED as my first choice. But overall, that's basically what I think. Like, the really fine and significant improvements.
Alrighty then. Alright, Trevor, you're up.
So, how I feel about it is basically kind of piggyback off what Miles said, to be honest, is the fact that, like, and I also think about what Lux said too, is the fact that, like, if you have like an original Switch and that's it, and you want to upgrade, it's probably a good upgrade and stuff. But like, if you're like me, you have an original Switch and you have a Switch Lite the Switch Lite you use for handheld because that's the only thing it's used for, it's not really worth it. It's more of just a model to skip, which I'll also go into later. So I think so basically I'm split about it. If you want to upgrade your Switch, your current original Switch, and that's all you have, it's a great option. And especially for trading credit, the fact it's only $50 more, it's great. But if you're like me, it's nothing really to get besides maybe just having a collection of Switches and stuff, but like not right now.
Fair enough. JMatthew, you're up.
All right, so like, okay, it's really only an upgrade for people who use handheld often. There's really no point in if you primarily use docked all the time and you don't really use handheld like me. Like, I only use handheld if I'm on like a road trip or something like that. I don't really bring my Switch really anywhere that I go. You know, of course, if I'm traveling, that's really it. So like, I have the upgraded normal model. I have like the better battery life version. I only got mine in like 2019. I'm good. I might still get it just because like I can, but like if I was just like a casual, you know, player, like I don't know if I would get it because, you know, it's $50 more, and if you don't use handheld that much, it's not an upgrade, especially when you can just buy the dock, which is the only like upgrade if you use dock is the Ethernet port. So like, you can just buy the dock separately because Nintendo's already announced that they're gonna sell the dock separately. That comes with the OLED as like the new like normal dock. So if you're a docked player and you never play handheld, just buy the dock. You don't need the new Switch.
That's what
if
I'm
you
doing.
don't play handheld. Like I don't play handheld, so like I might just buy the new dock if I you know, don't need the actual console. So yeah,
That's a fair point. You know, I don't see enough people talking about how the dock is actually sold separately.
it's not enough of an upgrade if you don't play handheld.
Yeah,
definitely, bro. I'm glad you're on board with with most of us here. Kind of understand how that is.
Which, you know, that dock does look really nice. I like the white on it, you know.
Definitely.
And it's, you know, I might be looking at this the wrong way, but I kind of look at that as a Metroid Dread Special Edition Switch, since the colors
Yeah,
of that
it's
whole
the
game
white,
is
yeah.
white.
Well,
obvious
Max, it comes out the same day.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
true.
it does.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
pretty much is a Metroid Special Edition Switch for anyone that's wanting a special
Well, I
edition.
mean, I don't know if you saw it, but you can also get the OLED in like the red and blue Joy-Con and black dock color set too, which it counts as the white one.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
the white one though. To be honest, it'll change up from my black regular dock that I have.
Well, moving on
Whatever's
to our
available.
Yeah, that's something to consider. All of the scalpers are buying everything up. We're probably not even gonna be able to buy the dock. Even if we wanted the dock, everything is gonna get sold out.
Yeah, fuck the scalpers. Fuck the scalpers.
Moving on to the next question. Do you like or hate the Nintendo Switch OLED model? And this, you can respond to this however you guys want. I'll go ahead and say that, to be honest with you, I don't like it, but I don't hate it. It's just not something I care for. OLED is great. OLED is beautiful, especially if you have a PS Vita that had OLED.
Oh,
I think it's beautiful.
I'll talk about that when it gets to me.
And while I do play my Switch in handheld mode, I don't see enough upgrades here for me to be like, you know what? I'm gonna spend $350 for another Switch. Granted, I know you can do like trading credit, all that type of stuff, but still, even with all that included, I don't feel that it's worth it for me personally. I know for some people it will be worth it. One of my concerns with this Switch OLED model is I believe OLED uses more battery life, and the Switch already has a terrible battery life, at least on the first version of the Switch. And I know the second version improves a little bit, but my concern is I know this is pretty much the second version of the Switch is having OLED. I feel like that battery life is definitely going to be weakened there with OLED being added. Granted, it still looks beautiful. I think it's going to look beautiful. It's just not something I see myself picking up unless somehow I get an extremely good deal that I just cannot pass on.
Yeah.
So, Luxray, you're up.
For me, I mean, there isn't really anything I really dislike about it. I mean, not too much, not that I really know, but wasn't there something with like the storage and I don't think I've seen anything about the storage battery yet or not. 'Cause I was like,
the storage is upgraded to 64 gigabytes.
The storage is double the normal Switch.
Yes.
But that's good for like a lot of Nintendo produced. Not
so it's not too much. It's not too much of a difference, or it's just.
I mean, it's a difference, but like with how Switch games are, unless like if you buy third-party Switch games, it'll definitely help out, but it's not too much of a big deal because a lot of those third-party Switch games are like 20 gigabytes for some reason. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because I was trying to recall for a second. Cause I thought I had an issue with that. Like, nah, I wasn't. I didn't have an issue with that. I was just like, cause I guess I was remembering. Because as soon as the information was coming out, I kind of was looking at it the wrong way, I guess. But anyways, like,
I mean, if you are just exclusively Nintendo games, like the games that Nintendo makes, you're set for life with the 64 gigabytes because Nintendo measures those gigabytes. They use them wisely. They know how to compress them. They're perfect with all of that. So.
They are.
Okay. But like, yeah, like morally, like, you know, I like it. I mean, I like that the screen's a little bit bigger. It's like I said, compensating for handheld users, which I like. I like that. And like, you know, of course, I'm excited to see the different colors, Joy-Cons it will come with in the future with future editions and stuff like that. My only big concern is that I would hope that there will be like a massive, or at least a decent update to kind of like get through everything. Just kind of like sells me on everything that the Switch you already seen. Hopefully there'll be like a decent update. That's what I like to see for that and the Switch. You know, everyone and their mom has literally, because like I want to see some updates with that, y'all. Y'all already know I want to see some updates because that's the biggest thing I'm looking for when the Switch OLED comes out and all that, because I'm waiting. Well, I think most of us are waiting, obviously, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, everything seems to be okay. I mean, like everything seems to be all right in my book, as long as there's some sort of change going inside the Switch with the menu and all the other shit. Yeah. But that's all I mean.
So that leads us to you, Miles.
So, I'm so apathetic with the Nintendo Switch OLED, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, I really do like that there are these good upgrades, and I'm not gonna be the guy who's like, well, why did Nintendo have this at the start? Because, like, they need feedback from customers. Like the same goes for the new 3DS back then. Like the reason why they didn't have improved 3D or the C-Stick is because, they needed to gauge out what the audience wanted and what would make a better product. So obviously the OLED is that. With that being said, like, the changes are and aren't significant enough for me to really just convince me to get this or care much about it. I just think that is just a nice thing to have. Nice thing for people who don't have a Switch or need a new one to have too. This doesn't seem like a purchase that someone needs in the future. If I'm perfectly fine with my Switch I already have. And since they're selling the dock separately, I'm good to go. I don't need the OLED. Like, sure, the new stand is nice, the more storage is nice, but I can manage, honestly.
There's something I guess there's something I do want to say with Miles. I kind of want to respond to. Like I know you said something about like why didn't we have? That's kind of a good comment to make there, because like I was just about to say, like, with the Switch OLED, like, why didn't we have most of the stuff? Like, I can see why you say that, because obviously they want to see what they can get away with, which is an early Nintendo fashion. They want to do that. But like, yeah. I guess because I remember me and Foss, and I guess you were talking about this before, how they should have had all this before. Like in a sense, I do agree they should have had this before.
I can imagine like they're trying to keep manufacturing costs down the first time they made the Switch, and once they actually calculated all that, that was one reason why the OLED is a thing now. Like, they probably couldn't do the 64 gigs in the past, but now they can. And, the OLED screen, obviously, the new stand, all that stuff. Like I said, they needed time to these refinements. And, this is really good for people who, wanted, you could say, the definitive Switch.
To add on to what you guys are saying, one of the reasons like why OLED wasn't an option before, that was at a time where, so the PSP that it had OLED before, they got rid of it because it was very expensive to make. We live in an age now that OLED is not that expensive to put into systems now. There's cheaper OLED versions out there, and I believe in 2017 OLED was still very expensive. And that's why the Switch didn't have OLED at first.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah. So I could definitely see with the OLED out there, a lot more people are gonna be pay attention to a lot of that now instead of the Switch, because But then again, the price, which we'll talk about that later.
You know what? Credit to where credit's due. OLED screens do look nice. And I know a lot of people will appreciate that when they're playing in handheld mode, which I know like a vast majority of Switch players do strictly play handheld. That's why the light is a thing. But for people who play mostly in dock, like myself, it's not the biggest significant change in the world. It really isn't. Like, I play handheld if I'm on a trip, or like if I have time to play something before class, and that's basically it.
Yeah. That's how I feel too.
All right, Trevor, you're up.
Okay, so the thing is, like, I don't hate it. I'm just indifferent about it because, like, I'm neutral. Because, like, I don't care because I already have a Switch Lite and a Switch, like I said before. So, and the benefits are really for portable people, like people who play their things portably. But that's what I have. That's why I have my Switch Lite, though. And the thing is, the Switch Lite already has a bigger real estate in a sense than the original Switch. Because while it's smaller, the bezel on the thing isn't as fucking high. So it's not really that different for me. And if anything, I like the dock more, if anything, because of the fact that, like, I just don't want a fucking Ethernet port dongle hanging out of my Switch dock. I don't like that. So yeah, I'm gonna get the dock.
And honestly, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I was just thinking, honestly, what would a parent want to give their child instead? The cheaper Switch Lite with the pretty colors, or the kind of expensive Switch OLED, where, it looks nice, the screen and everything, but, like, what if the kid mostly plays handheld?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I always... Okay, wait, actually, Trevor's not finished yet.
No, go ahead, because I'll continue once you're done.
Okay, yeah. So what I think about like how parents like choose the light is like they never understand like the difference, like, or they can just pay 100 more because you're no matter what, you're gonna pay as much as you would pay for the normal Switch when you buy a light, because your kid's gonna want to have like multiplayer, or like some like your kid's gonna want Joy-Cons that are not stuck on the Switch. He's gonna want extra stuff that you need to have the light at all times and stuff. You're gonna need to buy extra stuff when you buy the light for 200, so it's always gonna end up even. It's gonna end up being 300 at the end. And on top of that, you don't even have like the dock ability or like the, detachable controllers ability. So like you're just spending almost the same amount.
Not to mention micro SD
without
cards.
the features. So I don't know.
Not to mention micro SD cards too, because like not only you got to buy shit like Joy-Cons and stuff for like multiplayer and other controllers, you gotta buy a micro SD card because 64 gigabytes is a lot. But let's say when you're trying to play something like, let's say Spyro Reignited Trilogy or BioShock or fucking Mortal Kombat or Wolfenstein 2, or Doom, where half of the fucking game, if you get it physically, half of the fucking game you need to download, that 64 gigabytes will be used up real fast. So you need a micro SD card.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's just brings you right to the normal Switch price. So
exactly. So, but also the thing is like, also I'm gonna get the dock anyway. I'm at the white dock, and that's gonna look good with my Zelda Joy-Cons. So there's that as well.
Yeah, rub it in.
Oh, I am rubbing it in. I have the box with me right now too.
Take it on home, bro. Take it on home.
I am.
The power must be great, Trevor, to be able to flex, since I've been doing that to you the last 2 months.
Oh, it is. It is. The last one from Walmart, and they look so nice. I was playing Mario Galaxy with them earlier. It was so nice. But
yeah.
But other than that, I'm just indifferent from the OLED because it doesn't affect me really. Because like I have a Switch that I use that's mostly docked for like video capture and on the TV, and I have a Switch Lite, and the fact that they can work between each other so easily with like cloud saves and stuff is like, it's not really a problem for me. So like I just don't care. The only thing I really like is the dock, because again, I'd rather not have an Ethernet dongle hanging out of my dock when I can just plug the cord right into the dock.
Yeah, alrighty then. Those are some fair points. JMatthew, you're up.
Alright, so like I feel like they should have, like, obviously we're all disappointed at like the lack of like upgrades, because we actually wanted a real Switch Pro, and we got this system. I wish, like, since the only upgrades are for people who like handheld, I wish there was actually like internal upgrades, as in like not only 4K but like themes, like moving themes, like all that stuff, folders and all of that.
eShop music.
I wish there was like actual like pro like I wish there was more than just like outer upgrades. And like, because when you get down to it, like if you're playing in dock mode, the actual Switch experience is the same as anything else.
Yeah.
Somebody get this man a medal.
Like go out, like to add what you said real quick, the fact that the Wii U has a better like home interface and eShop like than the Switch, and the Switch has sold better than the Wii U, yet the Wii U has some features, and the 3DS has features like folders that the Switch doesn't. Like Nintendo, catch up.
It's like the Thanos meme. Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Dude,
the Wii U.
The 3DS themes are great. Like they move and they have music. It's awesome.
Oh, I love them. They're so. I have so many Pokemon ones too. Like seriously, the 3D and the Wii U. Nintendo's like fucking most terrible console of recent times still has some better features than the Switch. And the Switch is about to reach the Wii numbers. Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, I have many opinions about how the Wii U is amazing, and the thing about battery life with the OLED and the Switch is I hope you can like finally change the brightness, because I don't know if you can do that now. How much I don't know if you can correct me on that, but
the brightness you can change through handheld mode. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes. You hold the home button and the options there.
Or you can go to the settings.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so yeah, that'd be good for OLED users, because OLED's probably gonna drain the heck out of your battery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's like one of my I have no concerns for the system, but that's my biggest concern is the battery on this thing.
OLED's drain on the Vita, if that's like what the Switch is gonna look like, a little bit bigger, it's gonna look really good. It's gonna look really good.
That's the thing about Nintendo with their handhelds, though, is that their handhelds usually always take advantage of technology that has been out for a while and can be used properly. Like, it's cheaper technology that they can take and make it good, which is how the original Game Boy was. The original Game Boy DMG was made of old ass parts, but yet it sold more than the Sega fucking Game Gear and the Atari Lynx, and that's because of Gunpei Yokoi and his thinking process, lateral thinking of whether technology. You take old technology and you make it usable and new.
Moving on
Yes.
to our next question. I think this one's going to be the juiciest one out of the whole questions we got here. At least for me, at least. With all the new features coming to the Nintendo Switch OLED model, does it justify the $50 price increase?
Oh boy.
All right, I'll go first. No, it doesn't. Yes, you're getting a vertical box. Listen, that should be like $100 right there, extra $100. Vertical box is so awesome.
They did it in Australia for the 3DS systems.
True.
Okay, but real talk, no, this does not justify a $50 increase, because if you really do your research, OLED, assuming that Nintendo's going with the cheap OLED, because that's what usually Nintendo does, they go with the cheaper stuff.
Oh yeah.
All these technology sides of the things, not an improvement, like in terms of like making a new system, the price to order all the stuff to make the system. It even got leaked, although I know Nintendo denied it. Actually, yesterday morning.
Yeah, through their official corporate Twitter account.
So Bloomberg reported that the system was only going to cost an extra, I believe it was $5 that was reported.
$10.
$10. It was costing $10 to make. That's all it was for Nintendo to do. Now, Nintendo came out, said that's not true, but Bloomberg is probably pretty close to getting what it actually costs. Because, again, if you do your research on OLED, it's not that expensive. It used to be really expensive, but now it's cheap. It's probably something like $15, something like that. I'm not a developer. I don't know all this stuff, but I do know OLED costs. And yeah, and then there's some upgrades that literally no one asked for. If somebody asked for this, I would like to meet this person. Did anyone have an issue with the audio on the Nintendo Switch?
No.
I never even. No one
Not that I know
The
of.
Switch Lite, yeah, but not the Switch.
Why
nobody
did
that
you
even,
have
like,
an upgraded
thought of
version of the Switch audio? Why do we need that? I'm sorry. Who came up with this idea?
I never even not only have I seen, but like personally, never even like thought of the audio being bad. Like I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, not that I know of at all. I can't say.
The Switch Lite, I could definitely say what the audio was kind of bad because your cans kind of muffle it when you're playing. But like on the regular Switch, no, I have not had any complaints with the audio.
Like, I'm just okay. No one asked for this, but okay, Nintendo, $50 increase. And then there is one thing that everyone wanted. That was a better stand for the system.
Oh yeah.
We're actually getting
that was awesome. For handheld
It appears to look like it's gonna be a better vertical server, better stand.
Better. And if it isn't, you lose half the back of your Switch.
Yes.
Dude, the current stand falls off so easily. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I don't even use it.
When I saw that for people who are using handheld, people when they use handheld, it'll be so much better. Like everyone was asking for that. That's like the one like handheld upgrade everyone really wanted.
I don't even use it anymore because of my Lite, to be honest. And everyone I know has their own Switch, and they bring it.
I don't even use handheld, so.
Yeah, I mean, the Lite is what I use for handheld. Everyone has their own Switch too, so I'm like, why use a stand when everyone has their own Switch? We can just connect through local wireless and just fucking play Smash, Mario Kart, whatever.
Right.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah.
Obviously, the screen is it's like 0.8 inches bigger, I believe.
Yeah.
0.5 or 0.8. I was like, cool.
It looks
Okay.
a lot better, but
That is cool, but
at least,
you know,
at least they decreased the fucking bezel because that shit was too big for no reason.
if you look at all these increasements or just the new things that are happening with the Switch OLED model, me personally, it doesn't justify an extra $50 with all the research that you put into this. Now, for no one that doesn't know anything, they'll probably look at this and be like, you know, oh wow, this is a really cool deal. OLED, woo, let's go. But yeah, I disagree with the price.
Consumers.
I feel like well, I guess they needed a price increase. I don't know. Me personally, I guess OLED, they have to do a little bit of a price increase, so I guess it'd be weird if they did 320, 325. They needed it to be something that makes sense, I guess. I don't know. Me personally, I don't agree with the price, but that's me. Luxray, you're up.
No, I'm kind of indifferent about this because on one hand, I'm saying like, yo, like, I mean, it's not anything super crazy. I mean, with there being like a little bit of an upgrade, like that's cool. Like I'm down. Like it's not too much of a big of a deal. But on the other hand, I'm just like, it's not really offering. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's offering a little bit, but not too much. Not anything too big, but like, so it's just kind of like I'm on two hands here. Like I don't know. I'm kind of like a little lost with like whether I'm kind of lost my mind whether it's actually would be worth it. Because after going through what Max had talked about for on the scale of all the stuff that you're getting from it, like it does seem like the extra 50, the extra 50 for it basically is gonna be kind of like soup. It's kind of crazy, especially if there's not too much going on other than that. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of up in arms with it because like there's some good things about it, but then there's some things I'm kind of questioning. Like I'm still questioning like what JMatthew said, like the internal. You said internal features.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that, which I'm a bit concerned about that, and like I know he said there's like plenty of memory and all that, but like I don't know what to think of that though, because like it's just I guess you could say I'm a bit indecisive at the same time, so I guess that's probably what I'd have to say on that. I mean, I'd probably just wait to think more about it, I would say, if you're really indecisive about it.
Yeah, okay then. All right, Miles, you are up.
I don't think that, the $50 increase is necessary, but I do understand, like you said, that they needed to have a price that makes more sense. But I'm gonna take your word that if OLED isn't as expensive as it used to be and it was just like a $15 increase, I think that should have been reflected on their price, or maybe $20. And I think $320 would have been a fine price for the Switch OLED. Because these changes are not significant enough for $50, I think. I'm not saying that if this was 4K, then $50 would be the justifiable price. I'd say we need more than that, obviously, but maybe if we got at least 1080p, then 350 to 375 would have been better. And like I can see, like I said, I just see parents getting the light instead. Like unless the kid is specifically asking for a Switch OLED.
Yeah.
I'm just finding more and more reasons not to really get this as the first choice. At least for current Switch holders, or someone who just wants to get something for Christmas. Unless, like said, you wanted to get the quote unquote the definite Switch.
The definitive.
Like the definitive Switch. It's just
Miles, did you like by 1080p? Did you mean like 1080p like standard, like it's easily achievable? Because 1080p technically is what the Switch can output. It's just a lot of developers can't really reach it sometimes with their third-party games.
Standard, yeah.
Okay, standard. Okay, making sure.
Yeah, because in hindsight, asking for a 4K Switch, while not impossible, that really could have ranked up the price a lot. And that might have been too much to ask for. But like I said, 1080p standard would have just been perfect for something like this. At least that's what I think.
Yeah. I wish that we could have 1080 handheld. That would be really awesome.
Yeah, but like just adding what Miles said, like yeah, I do agree with you on that, because you want to make sure there's more accommodating for that price than just, like I said, it wouldn't really be worth it if they charge that much and like there's not too much going off of it.
Like I feel like the OLED should have had a packed-in game like Metroid to come with it.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
Something
yeah.
like that.
All right, so Trevor, you're up next.
So I have to say yes because of the Ethernet port. No, I'm joking.
Oh, I forgot to mention
Bro.
that is added into the dock.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm buying the dock. It by
Yeah, man.
itself. What's funny enough is only going to be sold on the Nintendo website. They're not even going to sell it in stores. You got to buy it from
Oh,
Nintendo's
come
website.
on.
That's what I was
I
saying.
didn't-
I was saying that like the only like good upgrade for dock people is like the dock, which you can buy separately. So it's not even like an actual point in buying the actual console in the first
Yeah,
place.
but like honestly, like I don't think it's worth it. I don't, because like I mod Game Boys a lot, like Game Boy Advance and stuff, and the LCDs, the IPS screens that they have are like $5. But the reason that the kits are $60 because of the ribbon cables, the technology they have on them to make it work, make these modern screens work Game Boys. But the screens themselves are cheap. So, like OLED, if Max is right, OLED is not even that big of a price significance. Like, no, they should not be charging $350. They should charge $300 and either get rid of the current regular Switch model or downgrade that to like $250, whatever. Have it be like a nice intermediate. Like you can have this intermediate one for like which isn't as good, quote unquote, as the OLED, but has more features than the light, or you can go with the light or the OLED. But I feel like the better thing to do is just get rid of it entirely and just have the OLED and the light. Like you don't need to have the original Switch model still available when the OLED model is, yes, technically better than it, but not enough, but not enough. But like it's still good enough to have it on its own. Like we don't need the red box Switch anymore when we get the OLED. We don't. We can just get the OLED and still have it priced at $300. Okay? Like it's not justified. There's not a big enough improvement. I mean, hell, handheld mode is still 720p, not 1080p. Like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, like I like an increased bezel. There's nothing wrong with the audio and the kickstand. Thank you for fixing the kickstand, but there's nothing else improved. I mean, hell, the only thing different about the dock besides its design is the fact that instead of a USB port, there's an Ethernet port there now. Which, by the way, at my dock, the USB port in the back is being used by the Ethernet dongle. So it's like, it's not even that much of a, oh, I'm missing out on a USB port. It's like, no, finally, there's an Ethernet port. But like, there's just not enough significant change for it to make it $350 when they can just get rid of the original Switch model and price the OLED at $300. Because when game companies do, like the big three, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, they always make consoles at a loss but make it up through game sales. So it's not like it's gonna make a big of a difference. So they'll make it up through their game sales. I mean, hell, Skyward Sword's selling like crazy right now. I'm pretty sure when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, they'll sell a hell of a ton. When Pokemon comes out, sure, they don't get all the money, but they'll get enough. Like, Nintendo is going to be fine. They're the richest company in Japan. I promise you, like, they will not be losing money if they price it at $300 instead of $350.
Alrighty then, JMatthew, you're up.
That's some very good points that I'll touch on too. Like, I think the OLED should come out like how the red box did more, but like more apparent, where it's like, if it's literally like not a pro, like how, so like the new 3DS came out and like the new 3DS models came out and that was kind of like the pro, and they still are making like the older ones. This one isn't really like as a pro as the new 3DS is. It's more of like a reimagining of the normal one. So why would you keep the less, like, why would, besides like it being a little bit cheaper, why would you keep the old one that has the worst dock, the worst screen and stuff, if it's just gonna be like around the same price? Which is what they should have done, is they should have marked the old one down to $250 and put this one at $300, which I think
Absolutely
would work a lot.
I agree.
Because number one, if they marked the old one down to $250 and the OLED at the normal $300, like the old price for the normal one, they would have both sold a lot more. The OLED would have initially sold a lot more, like at launch, and then after that, if anyone wants to buy the old one, that would sell a lot better because it's a lot cheaper, or it would have been. I don't know if they should have marked down the Switch Lite, because like that's might have been way too cheap for 150. Maybe not, but definitely marking down those two other ones would make a lot of sense. I feel like the OLED just should have just been like the new default Switch instead of being a whole like quote unquote new model. It should reflect the old one.
Also, the fact that the new 3DS 2, like, it actually had hardware improvements. Like, the 3D was better, but also it had more like RAM and a better CPU for like, so download speeds were faster, like games would load faster. There was actual hardware significance besides just better 3D and like a bigger design, and for the regular new 3DS, different faceplates. The Switch OLED, really, the only hardware changes are the screen and the audio. Nothing with processing and video, nothing like that.
But like it made sense to me why the new 3DS was came out and then they kept the old one. The reason, and I think the OLED doesn't have enough like actual hardware, like software or like digital improvements, to be a separate console. It should just be like the new normal.
Alrighty then. So for our next question, that is our final question. I threw this in there since the discussion about this whole thing still exists, even with this being announced, which kind of surprises me. I think we're all going to be on the same boat of this, but I think it is important to ask this since it's along with the discussion with everyone talking about this whole Switch OLED model. Do you think a Nintendo Switch Pro model is happening later down the road, or this is truly it for the Nintendo Switch model upgrades? I will start. Me personally, I hope that there's not a Switch Pro. I feel pretty confident that there's not going to be a Switch Pro for one reason, and I feel like it's because it's the new Nintendo Switch dock out there, and they're allowing you to be able to buy this new Nintendo Switch dock. I feel like if we were to get another Switch model, Nintendo would not be selling you this Nintendo Switch dock, since there would be a newer dock that would be, more powerful, everything that everyone was asking for. So I think Nintendo Switch Pro is 100% dead. Even Nintendo said when Bloomberg came out, Nintendo said this, so companies lie, but they were saying that no more Switch models are happening as of right now. Keyword, as of right now. So you can take that how you ever want to. Just know that these companies lie. They're not your friend. A lot of people seem to think that, but I think this is it though, because just the fact that they're selling that dock, it doesn't make sense if they were to make another dock in the future. So yeah, I'm thinking it's not happening. All right, Luxray, you're up.
I'm just gonna say no, honestly, because like at this point, like what Max said, like they would have to have a whole new dock and all that, and it's just like it just wouldn't really. It's just like, and like as I take the information, as they say, they're probably not gonna do anything about a Switch Pro right now. I take it as like obviously they're not gonna do it for a while. Like this, you ain't really gonna be hearing anything crazy. Probably until like, I don't know, maybe like several years from now or so. But like, then again, it's just like I don't see anything coming from there. This is probably what's most likely going to be what everybody's going to be messing with for the next few years or so, or we'll set the next while. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
anyway, yeah. It's just yeah. I just don't see there being any talk of that, obviously, and of course there's gonna be leaks out there, people still saying, oh, the Switch Pro is definitely happening. It's definitely happening like this year and this and that, and then most of us are gonna know like that's a fucking lie. Like they this is what leakers do, get everybody's hopes up and people just believe it, but like
That's why it was such a disappointment to see the OLED, because like leakers and rumors brought people's expectations so high up, and they're like, what the fuck?
Oh, I kept mine so low because I don't trust that shit, to be honest. I
feel like it was. I think it was more like the Bloomberg reports that were out there that like really like had everyone, like even the leakers, being like, okay, this is what's happening. because Bloomberg is a credible company. They're an actual news company. They can't they can't be coming out and saying that crap to just normally to people. So I think it was more like I'm not trying to pin blame, but if you were to believe in all that stuff, you should probably pin it on Bloomberg, not necessarily the leakers, since all that stuff kind of filled up as soon as Bloomberg made that article a few months ago.
But I mean, honestly, honestly, do we really? Do most of us here don't really be messing with leaks like that? I mean, I don't know about Max, but as far as I know, is most of us don't believe in all that, compared to a lot of other people that do, apparently. But because I said, people believe it, take it as they will. But I'm pretty sure there won't be anything with the Switch Pro coming soon, anytime soon at all, because the OLED is here to stay. It's here to keep people going. But
Fair.
that's all I gotta say on that. I mean,
alrighty then, Miles, you're up.
So I think it's too late for a Switch Pro. But this is the time for Nintendo to start gauging out for the new system that they'll release in probably the next few years. Because, let's be honest, at this point, might as well just make a new system. The Switch U, I'll just call it now.
bro,
it's just if you try to do a Switch Pro now, it's oversaturation. 4 is just too many different models for one console. 3 is kind of the perfect number right there. Cause last time Nintendo tried to do multiple versions of a console, well, besides the 3DS, I'm thinking mostly about the Wii here, where you had the regular model, then the family model that no one wanted because I didn't have any GameCube support. Then there were a few refinements here and there. Y'all remember the Wii Mini? It was released right when the Wii U came out. So yeah, I can understand that there probably would be an audience who would want a Switch Pro. A Switch Pro was definitely on my buy list if it was actually a thing. But since it's just this kind of fine upgrade, there's nothing else I could really look forward to here. So the best I can do is just wait for Nintendo to have their new generation of consoles in the next, 3, 4, 5 years. And maybe if they want to keep the Switch model, they could just model the Switch U, Switch 2, whatever, from the Switch OLED. This new console would be OLED from the jump. It would have, 100 gigabytes in there. Et cetera, all that stuff. And we could thank the OLED for what this new console could have, but, that's kind of the best I could give this console right now.
Fair enough. That is a fair opinion. Alright, Trevor, you're up.
So, mine is kind of a causality thing. It's depends on how long Nintendo wants to have the Switch last, because they want to have the Switch last for a couple more years, 4 more years. I think that's reaching it though, but still, then they need to upgrade it. They need to pull a new 3DS and upgrade the hardware and stuff. I don't care if they implement the technology from Nvidia with their SSL technology, I think it is, where they can do upscaling to 4K and shit, but without having it actually be 4K. But if they wanted to use the Switch for as long as possible, they're gonna have to do a Switch Pro. So I think if that's the case, then there will be, but not in the near future, because a lot of third-party games though are now having trouble running on the Switch. Doom Eternal, love Doom Eternal, but it doesn't run the best on Switch. It's still amazing they got it on there, but but I think if they want to continue having the Switch go on for a long time, they will have a Pro model, just not in the near future. Because you never know with Nintendo, they might have the Switch go on for a while, or they might just throw out a completely new console. Though I have a feeling they're not going to get rid of this idea of the Switch because it combines both their home console and their handheld system, and with their handheld department doing traditionally well all the damn time, even with the 3DS after the price cut, of course. I don't think they'll get rid of this concept anytime soon. It's a moneymaker for them. They will not get rid of this concept since it's a beautiful breed of two sections of gaming, I should say. So yes, the simplified answer, yes, if they want to keep the Switch going for a long time. No, if they're working on an entirely brand new home console, which I don't think they are, though.
Fair enough. JMatthew, you're up.
All right. Okay. I say yes. Let me explain. Okay, so like we're into the 5th year of the Switch, and it's still popping off like crazy. Nintendo's putting out games left and right. Especially right now, I feel like there's a new game every fucking week. Sorry,
You mean the
My
shovelware?
wallet, wallet would agree with you on that.
You mean the shovelware though? On the eShop?
No, I don't. I mean like Nintendo. Like
Oh, I know, I'm
Mario
joking.
came out a week ago. Well, that too. So, yeah, because like Mario Golf, I feel like came out like just a few weeks ago, which it did, and then Skyward Sword just came out, and we're getting I think the next one's WarioWare, in like thankfully like 2 months. So thankfully it's not in like a week or two.
And then October stacked to shit.
Oh, October is stacked. October, okay.
Yeah.
October you got like Monkey Ball, you got Metroid,
Yeah.
you got,
I
oh
was
my
about to say
god.
Monkey Ball. October is the OLED itself. Metroid, Monkey Ball. I think Mario Party Superstars as well.
Yeah.
All right, and then like, okay, so what I was saying is like, the Switch is going beyond strong right now. I think the Switch has like, it could maybe go into like an 8th or 9th year at this rate, because like, and how they're gonna do that is making an actual Pro, because like it'll basically be like what the Wii U was, but they're not gonna say like the Switch 2. They're just gonna say like Switch Pro, and act like it's part of like the same like console, because it probably won't be that like drastically different as a console. But I feel like they'll make a Switch Pro so that can actually run modern games and prolong the life cycle, because they why wouldn't they? I mean, the Switch install base is growing insanely, you know, by the year, by the month, and you know the OLED is gonna be slowly become like the default Switch. So like it's not like people are gonna be like, we already got the Pro, now we have 2 Pros. Like no, the OLED is gonna, over time, like people are gonna think of that as like the default one, I'm sure. If you know what I mean. Like I hope I'm sure the OLED is gonna take over as like the default one very soon.
Oh, probably, most likely.
Because like new people are probably gonna go for the OLED instead of the normal Switch, just because they never had Switch before. They're like, why not get the better version? And so over time, it's become the default one before they make the Pro, and then prolong the life cycle, because the Switch is just popping off. It's probably gonna pass the Wii really soon. So,
Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna go around the table. Make sure you guys shout out all your socials and all of that. They'll also all be in the description below if you guys want to just click their links there.
Yeah.
So I will start with Luxray. Shout yourself out.
Hey yo, you know what's up? So of course, my Twitter is LuxMasterCos, and LuxMasterCos on Instagram. Yeah, pretty much go there. And of course, for this channel, obviously there's a Twitter. Check that out. Yeah, have it going on there. Next person.
I kind of half expected to be like, oh, my next channel, it's coming out soon, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah. Whatever. Shut up.
Wait, he has a channel coming out? I didn't notice. I never knew that. Oh
What-
my god.
Next man.
I kind of forgot after hearing about it the last 5 episodes.
I know, right?
Anyways, moving on to the
okay.
next.
Okay. I see how it is. Okay.
Moving on to miles per hours.
You can
Or per
find
hour.
me on Twitter at miles_per_hour and the number 1. My Twitch is twitch.tv/221mph, and of course there's my YouTube, which is miles per hour. Please check me out.
Alrighty, Trevor, shout yourself out.
You can find me here on YouTube at TrevorMan5. I'm actually at 811 subscribers, though I don't post that much as of lately. I am thinking about some video game reviews in the works, but 811 guys, just like if you want to see that happen in the future, definitely subscribe. So on TikTok and Twitter, my @ is PokeFanTrevor. So there's that, and Instagram is also TrevorMan5. So and there's that, and also you can check out my single Sunshine on everywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, and that too. I still got some music in the work, and I'm still writing, and I've been behind the scenes working with some producers, remixing some songs to get a nice little kick out of them before the EP comes out. So hopefully, I hope you guys are looking forward to that.
Oh, don't tell me you're working with Kanye, bro.
Listen, that's supposed to be a secret, okay? He's telling me all the shit behind Max's back, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Man. He stopped responding to my emails after I made that video.
Well, he's signing me. Thank God. I had to get in contact with him. I had to call Kim to get in contact with him, though.
All right. So our guest, JMatthew.
Hello. Yes, this is my second time here. Last time, if you remember, I was shouting out the infamous video. That's
Glover.
Of course finally out. Holy shit. But yeah, you can find me on YouTube, JMatthew, capital J, capital M, Matthew. So just JMatthew. Pretty straightforward. Really close to 1K. I'm trying to reach for that by like sometime in August. I'm still projected for like the middle of September, but I think I'm gonna shoot up again that I can make it for August. I have many videos in the works right now. I'm working on like 2 different ones right now. Right now I'm working on one that's a collab, and also working on the 1K video because I have to prepare for that. So if you guys want to subscribe, there'll be tons of new stuff being announced whenever that happens. And of course, new videos come out whenever the new videos come out. And I just uploaded my Skyward Sword unboxing, hunting video a few years ago, so you can go check that out if you're waiting on the next video, which is gonna be pretty big. And yeah, Twitter is JMatthew YouTube, so that's just JMatthew YouTube. Instagram is JMatthewYT. That's a pretty new account, but yeah, it's there now. But yeah, JMath pretty much everywhere. And yeah, getting really close to 1K, so make sure you subscribe.
Yes, sir.
The next time you'll be on, you should be already having over 1,000 subscribers. So we're gonna go ahead and congratulate you for reaching that 1,000 subscriber goal. Since
Don't do it yet.
Well, now you're gonna jinx it.
Well, the next time we're gonna see him, he's gonna be well over 1,000. So it's like we gotta congratulate him on the Four Swords channel right now.
Watch us never see him again.
Oh my god.
But that leaves me.
New friends.
That leaves me with myself. I am Monado Max, obviously. YouTube, Twitter. That's literally that's all you have to search. Is Monado Max. I don't have. Yeah, I'm the big M with the sword. That's somehow how people recognize me at conventions. Anyways, I'm also almost at 2,000 subscribers. So.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. You're so close.
Yeah, I am really close.
So
Yo, Max,
guys,
come in with those free games though.
The free games. We only got that the boys thing that happened with that in terms of free stuff. So hopefully in the future I get sent more free stuff. All right. Well, guys,
aren't you forgetting something? Like the special announcement. You're moving.
Oh yeah. So guys. So this might be potentially my last video on the channel for at least a month or two, or a month and a half at least. There's a possibility that I'll be able to do one more video. I'm going to be talking about that with the lads over here after we're done recording. But I am giving you guys a heads up. This is probably going to be it might be the last time you see me. I might be in one more video. But yeah. I'm not leaving. I'm still here. I just, when you're moving out, your equipment's gone and you can't really record stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm.
Too well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm I'm there, but I'm not there. I'll be back in September though. Don't worry. Alrighty, guys. Well, that is the end of our amazing episode. JMatthew, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
This was a great discussion. This was honestly one of my favorite episodes we've done. Because I like talking discussion on.
It was really cool. We got to follow up after the last one where we were like predicting the Poirot. Now we basically got what that was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like that video, or smack that like button. Don't just like it. Smash
it. Smack it. Fuck the hell out of it.
Okay, maybe don't do all that, but subscribe.
Yeah.
Also, if
I
you
don't know
have
about
not
that.
subscribed to the channel already, check out our Discord server, which is also in the description below. Once again, we thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Peace.
See you later, y'all.
Bye.
You know what to do.
Penis.